On this week's episode, we say goodbye to 2020. We recap our picks from last week, some random thoughts, including a 2021 Johnny football comeback, and we wrap up with our picks for this weekend. Follow us on Twitter at the Vig Bets for our picks, lineup dates, and general news throughout sports.
All right, this week's episode brought to you by Action 24/7. They are a reliable sportsbook with thousands of active players from all around the world. They cater to everyone's needs with their in-demand products, from in-game sports betting to live casino, esports, and much more. Action 24/7 allows you to gamble on hundreds of sports leagues around the world. They provide fast payouts, great bonus structure, and 24/7 customer support. Sign up today, use code THEVIG, that's THEVIG, and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit.
All right, nice. So
Flawless.
First podcast video, at least no interview. So the beauty of this is it's kind of tough to cut and edit the video. When we put out only audio, we edit it if we kind of have a slip up here and there. But I think that'll be one of the perks of watching the video, is you kind of get to see like a behind the scenes type thing.
Right. Spoiler alert. It took me, two, 3 times to read that ad read.
Spoiler alert. I just lied to you. You don't get to see the behind the scenes. We restarted after the first 2 seconds. But I also
we can have a blooper reel.
Yeah, we can have a blooper reel. I also want to reveal, since we have video, this will be a new addition to the store. We have the Vig koozies, courtesy of Big Zaddy on Christmas. So they'll be up on the store. You can buy them. Right. We don't even have a price for them. It's like a best offer. Yeah. We're open to trades.
If he had to go Dolphins colors.
Right. Yeah, he had to get his bit in there. But all right. Let's get to some college football recap. I had Coastal Carolina -7. I had the Miami Oklahoma State under 58.5, and I have Oklahoma +3, which is playing. That Florida Oklahoma game is playing right now. So we're watching it. It's halftime. They're up 31-13. So looking pretty good there. But Coastal Carolina lost, first loss of the season. They lost in overtime, 37-34, 34-37, however you want to say it. It's a crazy, crazy ending. So Liberty was first and goal at the end of regulation, like a minute left. Stuffed at the 1 yard line. So it's second and goal. It might have been second and goal from the 5, actually. 40 seconds left. Kid runs it up the gut. Looks like he gets into the end zone, but the ball popped out. Coastal Carolina recovered it on the 1 yard line. Like reviews, you couldn't tell. He was probably in the end zone, but you couldn't tell from the review. So Coastal Carolina recovers, runs out the clock, goes to overtime. Liberty kicks a field goal to go up. Then Coastal Carolina field goal gets blocked and they lose in overtime. So crazy ending. Pretty sad that Coastal Carolina lost, but whatever. Then the Miami Oklahoma State under, I couldn't have been more off. Scored 71 points. Miami lost. De'Aaron King got hurt in like the second quarter, so that kind of screwed them. They had a nice comeback. They were down, I think 24-0, and came all the way back. So, but yeah, 0-2 there. Looks like I'm gonna at least go 1-2. And then you didn't have anything, right?
Took the week off of college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gambling on those nonsense bowl games.
No, those were bad. This game right now, the Florida-Oklahoma, is a pretty good bowl game, but we'll get into the playoffs later.
That brings us to Sunday, and actually it brings us to Friday, right? Every game's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
The Green Bay, Tennessee game.
Right. So Friday, I had the Saints -6.5. That one hit pretty easy. Kamara could have had 7. Should have had 7, probably.
Yeah, I put this down at the end of our recap, but we might as well talk about it now. So I also had in my parlay went 4-2, but I had the over, which hit easily. Total was 85. So, but Kamara moves to second best fantasy performance of all time, points wise. I forget who he's behind. Clinton Portis. Clinton Portis rushed for 218, 5 touchdowns, 36 receiving yards. and Kamara was 155, 6, and 17. So this is non-PPR, I guess. But I mean, I would put him number one because it's championship weekend.
Right.
Clinton Portis was in the playoffs, but not championship weekend. So if you had Kamara, you basically won. Crazy stats. And Kamara ties Ernie Nevers' touchdown record for 6 touchdowns from the 1929 Chicago Cardinals. That record was tied for the longest record ever held too. So that's a
really
I don't know what record it's tied with though. It's obviously not anymore because it got broken.
Right. And they had another touchdown he could have scored, rushed in from the 1 yard line.
Yeah, Taysom Hill of all people. It has to be Taysom Hill. And does that count as the streak being broken?
I don't know. Like longest running streak?
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been broken. It's only been tied.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
That's a good question.
But yeah, of course, Taysom Hill. If you're Sean Payton, I never understand this. Coaches never give these guys a chance. The same thing happened in the Buffalo game. The coach said he didn't even know. Obviously, Sean Payton knows. I'll never understand it, but
right. Next up, I had Arizona -4 at San Francisco. I actually cannot believe they lost that game outright, but Arizona's been struggling. I mean, they started off hot. They're kind of fading a little bit down the stretch. I didn't give out a lock last week. Completely forgot about it. We had the interview. I didn't give out a lock. I probably would have taken that as my lock, so I'm taking the L for that game. I could have. Are
you going to give yourself a loss?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yep. It's a podcast of integrity.
Yeah, of course. Always.
Especially now that we can't edit video.
Yeah.
Next up, I had Miami -3. That game, what a just bad management. I mean, Josh Jacobs falls at the one twice, costing them the win. I don't understand. I get trying to run the clock out. If you can kick the field goal as time expires, it makes sense. Or if you're ahead, but not in a tie game.
So I see what John Gruden, I get why he did it. First, I would like to say, though, if I was a coach, I score the touchdown every time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand it because they would say they scored, they'd go up, 6? They would have gone up 6, and they'd give Fitzpatrick the ball. The craziest part is John Gruden kind of compared Fitzpatrick to Patrick Mahomes. But that's neither here nor there. In this post-game thing, he was like, you don't want to give Fitzpatrick the same amount of time. And John Gruden scored against the Chiefs and gave Patrick Mahomes like just over a minute, and the Chiefs went down and won. So he's just scarred from that and is like, I'd rather give them the ball back with 19 seconds. So I get it, but I wouldn't do it. I'd always score the touchdown.
Right. Well, and my argument is they have to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they have to score a touchdown to tie it.
Right.
So they have to go the full length of the field, not just get into field goal range, and they have to score the touchdown to tie the game. It's not to lose the game. So it really didn't make any sense.
Right. Have Jacobs get the touchdown and then go for 2 to be up 7, right? Because I think they would have been up 6 if they just kicked the extra point. I don't really remember what the score was, but regardless.
No, it put them up 3. It was a tie game when they did that. The Miami came down.
No, it put them up 2.
Oh.
That's why Miami's field goal won, but they won 26-25.
Thought they won by 2.
No, they won 26-25 at end of regulation.
Okay.
So a touchdown would have put them up. We're not a math podcast. Yeah, so if they went for 2, they would have went up 30-23.
Okay.
But so that's what I would have done. Score the touchdown, go for 2, and if you get it, they have to play for a tie, and if you don't, they have to score a touchdown to win. So I don't agree with the call, but I kind of try to sympathize. 19 seconds and that crazy throw.
Yeah.
But
his head on backwards.
Yeah. I think Mahomes said that was the best no-look pass he's ever seen.
I'm mostly pissed off, though, because I lost my fantasy championship because Josh Jacobs fell I mean, there were multiple reasons, but that's the easiest one to go back and look at.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Or Diggs getting pulled with a quarter left to play.
Yep. I know so many people that. So one of my friends' leagues tied. They don't do decimals, and they tied. I don't even know how I think they just split the pot, but I don't know who they named winner.
Like champion?
Huh. Yeah. And my friends texted me because I'm the commissioner of our league, and they were like, "What happens if it ties?" And I said, "Commissioner takes the pot." So that's gonna be the rule from now on, because we're decimal. That's like impossible.
Right. You almost have to go to like bench after that.
Yeah.
Like optimum points for.
I think that because that's the league we're in is bench points, right?
Yes.
ESPN, because we don't do ESPN. ESPN is the higher seed gets benefit of the doubt.
I don't like that.
Neither do I.
I don't like ESPN either, so it adds up.
Yeah.
And then that brings me to the last game. I had Tennessee plus 3.5 at Green Bay. And it really was a Tennessee, like when we turned that TV on, saw all the snow. I mean, that's a Derrick Henry game.
Yeah.
And then Rodgers just balled out. Devontae Adams was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He just slung it all over and wasn't even that close.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we said it's a Derrick Henry game, but it's probably more of a Aaron Rodgers game, snow and Lambeau. So yeah, that game wasn't even close. And then I went 4-2 on my parlay. Obviously, Saints Vikings overhit. Miami won. Cleveland lost outright to the Jets. Jacksonville locked up that 1 seed. Steelers covered. Crazy comeback. Big Ben is sitting this week, which is big for playoff implications. Seahawks hit, and then I had Titans outright. They got smoked. So that's that.
Weird we didn't see Jordan Love in that game.
Yeah, that is weird. The NFC has gotten, and we'll talk about this when we get to the playoffs, but NFC has gotten sneaky good, I feel like, and the 1 seed is still up for grabs.
Yeah.
But might as well. Let's move on to some random thoughts. The Mayo Bowl was today. Duke's mayonnaise. It was Wisconsin versus Wake Forest. So Wisconsin won 42-28. Now,
wow. Wisconsin put up 42 points.
Yeah, the Big Ten was kind of weird this year. But, okay, so have you seen anything about the trophy?
Yeah, it got smashed, right?
It got smashed, but did you see what it looked like before it got smashed? So
I hope it was just a jar of mayonnaise.
So it looked like if the Lombardi trophy had sex with the crystal ball. You know what I'm talking about? The crystal football that used to be like the BCS trophy, but they were first cousins. So it looked like you could see the resemblance, but it looked all fucked up. So it looked like that. It's like the Lombardi, but the crystal football. Graham Mertz, the Wisconsin quarterback, dropped it. It smashed. They taped a bottle of Duke's mayonnaise to the top of it after, which makes me think that must have been like in all the players' lockers.
Right. Where they just have a bottle of it.
Just like imagine because that's what happens in the March Madness. Kids get like gift baskets or whatever, right?
Yeah, it happens every bowl game. Like everybody gets one. I have a buddy that worked at Georgia Tech for a couple of years, and they were in the Orange Bowl, and he got like a 46-inch TV and a watch.
Yeah, that's why
like the bowl gift.
Right. That's why playing in the Mayo Bowl sucks, because apparently you get a squeeze bottle of Duke's mayonnaise.
Right.
But that's all I got on that. Yeah, smash trophy. Congratulations,
NFL,
Wisconsin.
Right. NFL playoffs right around the corner. Got my Bills hat on today. Officially
I like
joining Bills Mafia for the playoff run.
Yep.
Obviously, Patriots fan. I'm not, but I will support the Bills. I've always said Bills are my little brother. As long as I'm not playing them, I want them to do well. But they are allowing fans, 7,000 fans, to the playoff games in Buffalo. So
yeah, it's awesome. I love it, but it also makes me a little angry, because what the fuck? Like, why aren't we allowed to do anything? The Bills make the playoffs, and it's like, okay, fine. Like, what?
Right.
Why can't we do anything? It took the Bills to make the playoffs for us to be able to do things. That means it's all bullshit.
And I mean, 7,000 isn't anything. I mean, that stadium's big. I don't know what the capacity is, but it's going to feel pretty empty. And it kind of sucks that it's going to season ticket holders only. And I think they're using who's had season tickets the longest.
Yeah.
So you're going to get some good fans in there, but you're not going to get the blue collar, like normal diehard Bills fans in there.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
like the
think
rock
there's
pile.
Yeah. And they're making you get tested at the facility. You have to pay for the test.
Mm-hmm.
It's included in the ticket price, but I think because you're closer out that way, you wanted to go and get some shirts going and stuff. Did you see that tailgating is banned?
They're not going to be able to stop it.
You think so? There's only going to be 6,000 people there.
I think there's going to be thousands of people there who aren't going to the game tailgating.
Okay, never mind then. I was like, damn, we can't hand anything out. But
so I think maybe like the official lots could be closed, but there's so many. I mean, people park in front yards all over the place. It's just going to be
there's going to be parties everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Pinto Ron has to be at that game.
I'm sure. He'll probably do the halftime show with the ketchup and mustard.
I would
Guys
love
come
that.
out.
I would love that.
Imagine him as the halftime show of the Mayo Bowl. Just people slinging mayo.
Add mayonnaise to the mix. Yeah. But other NFL playoff type situations, I just wanted to do a quick rundown. We don't have too much to talk about this week. So for Big Zaddy's sake, Dolphins, all they have to do is win. They control their own destiny. But if they lose, they need the Ravens or Browns or Colts to lose. It's going to come down to the Dolphins or Browns. One of them's not making it. There's no way both the Dolphins and Browns make the playoffs in the same season. But looking at the NFC, for the number 1 seed, Packers, obviously they win and they clinch it, but they're at Chicago, and Chicago has looked good the last couple of weeks. Could be a sneaky upset there. The Saints are still in it. If they win and the Packers lose and the Seahawks win, they get it, and the Seahawks can still get it, which is crazy to me. Yeah. I did not expect that. So they need to win, and they need both the Saints and Packers to lose. But that's really all I got. And the NFC, obviously, that's probably what I'm most excited to watch this weekend is the NFC. Washington just has to win, and they're in. Or if they lose, whoever wins the Giants-Cowboys game is in. And Andy Dalton is getting hot.
He is getting hot. There's just a couple other weird scenarios going on too. Like Pittsburgh could jump to the 2 seed, which would be huge. You don't have to play Kansas City till the AFC Championship. You get an extra home game. I mean, I guess they wouldn't play them till the AFC Championship is the 3 seed anyways, but they're sitting Big Ben in a game that matters. And then Patrick Mahomes is sitting too, which I get you don't want to get him hurt, but 2 weeks off is a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a little weird, I guess. It's not for rest. It's just so he doesn't get hurt.
Right.
But
I thought maybe put him out for a half.
Yeah.
Stay sharp, but.
And I think the Titans and Colts are in a weird situation where they can both either win the division or entirely miss the playoffs, which is just crazy. So.
Right. A lot of scenarios.
Surprisingly we tweeted out good week 17.
Right. We tweeted out updated Super Bowl odds the other day. Are you still riding with Kansas City plus 180?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that was our preseason pick. I think they were plus 500 preseason. So
what are the Bills?
The Bills are now plus 1,000. They started the year plus 2,500. They were the biggest mover of like the favorites. Washington though started the year 200-1, and they're all the way up to 100-1.
I like an NFC East team in the first round.
Yeah, just like
everyone's going to overlook them. Yeah, yep. And I feel like it's either got to be the Bills or the Chiefs, in my opinion. I think the Bills right now, they're playing so well, they could beat the Chiefs.
They are. Johnny Manziel coming back to football.
Of course he is.
I think we might have to cover this league quite a bit. Did you see
I
anything
don't
about
think, yeah, I don't think I can do it. It looks so bad. It's
If
arena
you can
football.
it's arena football, and the fans pick the play calls.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And did you
It's
see
perfect for gambling.
fix the whole thing?
Right. I'm taking Johnny Manziel over 20 completions, and I'm picking for him to throw the ball every single play of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you get someone like Johnny Manziel in there and just like a QB draw every single play. So it's weird they like reward you. I think if you pick the majority play and it works out right, it looked weird.
Right.
Did you
And
see the owners?
yeah, Marshawn's an owner. I think Austin Eckler's an owner.
Yep. And Richard Sherman and Quavo, rapper
Yeah.
Quavo.
So it'll be weird to watch. You're like, you gain points and tier up, and then your play calls count. Like you get a bigger percentage of the vote.
Yeah. I'll definitely check it out, but it looks awful. Like I watched the like hype video for it and it was terrible.
It's going to be one of those. I think the idea is going to be better than the product.
Yeah, it shocked me to see guys like, especially Richard Sherman, are owners in this thing. Like this is not, and the video's like, this is the future of sports, fan controlled. No chance. There's no chance.
It's a video game with real people is basically what it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like I said, if you can bet on it, we might be onto something.
You'd have to think you can't bet on it because people control it, right?
Right.
Because if you get like big enough players in there, then you can kind of, I guess that doesn't rig it because they still have to perform, but it doesn't seem like the type of thing you can gamble on. And it's on Twitch, I think.
Yep.
Oh man.
I mean, we spent weeks. We were talking about this earlier about making all the graphics for the Goat Bowl. I mean, we spent weeks covering that because there was literally nothing else. So
yeah, we were watching simulations, and you could gamble on that.
Right. And getting pissed.
Yeah. I remember the highlight of like my summer was McCaffrey breaking like an 80-yard touchdown to win it. I was like yelling at the TV like, this is awesome. Oh man. All right. I think that does it for, oh no, that does not do it for random thoughts.
Yeah. Got a couple more things on here. The San Diego Padres loaded up. They went out and got 2 stud pitchers, basically paid nothing for them. I think that's the biggest part of the story is they went out and got Yu Darvish and Blake Snell, former Cy Young winner, just completely reloaded, didn't have to give up a lot. And people are saying it's because of COVID last year. The owners just are struggling. Those billionaires are struggling to get by.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're waiting for our $600.
Yeah, that is insane.
So they're not going out and spending money. So kind of pisses me off being a Red Sox fan and having no pitching, seeing what San Diego did, went out and got 2 studs for practically nothing. But they got Tatis there. They got a lot of talent on that team. I think they can make a run this year.
And they were decent, right?
Yeah, they were good last year.
Yeah, so that's huge. Apparently, like the Cubs losing Yu Darvish seems like they're just kind of having a fire sale right now, which is a little weird too because they're a contender. So seems like I think they're under new ownership. So maybe they're just restarting.
Starting over.
Yeah.
Castillo left too, didn't he? I think he did.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, I felt like we had to talk about this. 2 of our big listeners, Joe, and I guess not so much Elijah, but big Heat fan. So Waiters was there for a long time.
Yeah.
He's actually talking about retiring now. He's not signed with anybody. He doesn't want to go play overseas. Not a bad way to go out though. NBA champ.
Yeah, no, that's go out on top. I don't know how I feel about playing overseas. Would I do it? Probably not if I just won an NBA finals. But I feel like I've seen a ton of interviews of guys who did play overseas and they love it. It's like you live in Europe for however long and like it's an awesome experience.
Yeah, Yeah, I think if I didn't make it in the NBA, I might go overseas just to keep playing. But if I had an NBA career, I don't think I'm finishing my playing career.
He's not very old, is he?
No.
Huh. I'm surprised no one's signing him.
No.
Is he that bad?
I think there's a stigma with him.
Yeah, what did he do? Was he the one that was taking a bunch of edibles? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they were given to him. He didn't know they were edibles. And then he had like a panic attack. And they were mad that he wouldn't tell them who gave them to him. He wouldn't rat his teammate out.
That's a good teammate. That's the type of person you want in your locker room.
Right. But the administration didn't appreciate it, I guess.
Who's the guy? What was the story with the Lakers when someone was cheating on someone and the guy filmed him talking about it in the locker room? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was Swaggy P, I think.
Yeah.
Nick Young. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you don't want that I'd much rather have Deion Waiters.
Right.
All right.
And then Dwayne Haskins. Did we talk about him last week? I think we talked about the strip club incident last week. A week later, in the news again. So he goes to the strip club without a mask on. Then he gets to start. Then he gets benched. Then he gets cut.
Yeah. So, right move, I would say.
Right. Just weird timeline.
Yeah, they were probably like, we just need a quarterback for this week, and then he's done.
Right. Right. And then they pull him anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think
someone will give him a shot. He's only been in the league not even 2 full seasons.
Yeah, but look at Josh Rosen.
Yeah, that's true.
And Josh Rosen is probably like such a nice guy.
I think Haskins might be one of those, like, has the talent, but he was just such a problem. It's not even worth developing.
Well, and I just don't know if I even buy. He has a great arm. Absolutely. He has a great arm. But he only played 10 college games. Like, he went off. I think he had 50 touchdowns, which is crazy.
Jesus.
But it's college at the same time. You're on Ohio State. College is always a little ridiculous, and he only played 10 games. So I never understood, and I also hate Ohio State, so I'm a little bit biased. But I never understood why there was so much hype around someone who had such little playing experience. Obviously a crazy season, that's why. They didn't win the national championship. Yeah, they didn't even make the playoffs, I don't think. But I don't know. I could see him getting another shot over someone like Josh Rosen because of that crazy college. Like, you saw how good he could be. Josh Rosen, I think, was more of like a prospect. Like, this kid has the NFL talent. He didn't put up crazy numbers. He was on UCLA. It's not the same situation. So,
talking about college, might as well get right into. We're gonna start right with the playoff games.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Some sneaky, like, it's gotten a little, maybe not the Alabama Notre Dame game, but I'm excited for the Clemson Ohio State game. So, where do you stand? I think we probably both stand in the same spot on this Alabama Notre Dame game, but what's your take?
I think we might not stand in the same spot on this.
Really?
Game. Yeah. So I'm going to take Notre Dame plus the 19.5.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I do think Alabama is by far the superior team, but Notre Dame showed the first time they played Clemson, they could get up for a big game. They obviously just got embarrassed, and I think they're going to kind of try to redeem themselves. They're going to lose. They're going to lose probably by 2 touchdowns, but
yeah,
I think 19.5 is a little too big for me. So I'm gonna ride with Notre Dame, even though I think they're the most overrated college football program in history. I just think for one game they can get up and at least keep it, 2 scores.
Yeah, so this team specifically, ESPN just came out with, as if people don't hate the whole college football ranking system enough already, they came out with the top, so the playoffs have been, I think, for 7 years. So they came out with the top 28 college football playoff teams, and they ranked them all 1 to 28. And this year's Notre Dame team hasn't even played yet, and I think they were ranked 26th. So
There's some bad teams on that list too. There has to be.
I think 28 was Michigan State the year that they made it, and then I think 27 was Washington. They got absolutely smoked too. But yeah, no, poor 2020 Notre Dame hasn't even played yet, and they're like the third worst team to ever make the playoffs. I'm going Alabama. I just think Alabama is ridiculous. I'm probably wrong in saying this, but this is like the best Alabama team I think I've seen. And I think it's because it's easier for me to judge offense than it is defense. And every other year that they've been dominant, it's like you can't even move the ball on them. So that's probably why I'm saying that. But this line opened at -20. So some money came in on Notre Dame.
Mine. It was my bet. Move a line, half a point.
And then this is the better game, obviously. Friday at 8, we have Ohio State at Clemson. Clemson's -7.5. Total is 66.5. I love Ohio State in this game.
So we're complete opposites on this.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Right.
Guaranteed money.
Right. Side bet?
I would side bet this game.
This game?
But with the spread.
Okay.
But I don't know what we want to wager.
I don't either.
I don't want to sing again.
I don't want you to sing again.
All right, let's sidebar that for a second. But so last year, Clemson won 29-23. It's a rematch. Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Not much has changed, I guess, when you look at it big picture. Justin Fields had a chance to win the game at the end through an interception, but it's a revenge game for Ohio State and for Justin Fields. I think that there's a little bit more than just a rematch game. I think just the ACC versus the Big Ten, it's also going to play a factor. Dabo, did you see him ranking Ohio State himself?
No.
He ranked them in his personal rankings number 11. And his whole stance was like, if you didn't play 8 games, you're not in the top 10. So
that's fair. What have they played? 5, 6? 6 now. Yeah.
So a little bit of bulletin board material for Ohio State. And Clemson's offensive coordinator is out with COVID. So I don't even know if that might have moved the line. I'm not sure. But we saw what happened. Detroit Lions had nobody, I think, no coaches, and they lost 47-7. They probably would have lost 47-7 anyways. But so I'm riding with Ohio.
They had no coaches, and they lost Matt Stafford almost immediately. So
yeah. Or was it Chase Daniel?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, I thought Ohio State might be the best team in the country. And the reason I'm taking Clemson is because Ohio State struggled to beat Northwestern. They had a hard time beating.
Yeah.
So you're going up against, one of the best in Clemson here. And Trevor Lawrence is hungry for that national championship. I mean, they didn't win it last year. Might be the only reason he came back, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't go out last year.
No, he could.
He could. Oh, yeah.
I don't
go
remember.
out after your sophomore. You can go out after your sophomore season. Yeah. So might be the only reason he came back was to go back and win a national championship. I think Clemson wins this game. I don't think Ohio State is as good as at least I thought they were.
Yeah, so I think that this number might be a little bigger than it should because of that Ohio State Northwestern game. But I also think that people, and I'm doing it personally, and I know that it's wrong, Clemson losing that game to Notre Dame made me think of them like entirely different. Not that I don't think they're one of the best, but I would have put them at number 1, obviously, if that didn't happen. And even though Trevor Lawrence wasn't injured, it made me feel different about him. Like, he's fine. He got COVID and he's fine, but it just, it gives you a different feeling. At least it did me.
Right.
So,
because you don't usually see them lose unless it's a national championship game.
Right. And Trevor Lawrence being out is just weird. So, but I have a couple of more games that I'm going to take in this bowl season. So Friday at noon, before those 2 games, got number 8 Cincinnati versus number 9 Georgia. Georgia is a 7-point favorite. I'm going to take Georgia here. I really like Cincinnati all year. I kind of wish they made the playoffs. That's this whole separate argument. But Cincinnati's kind of struggled the last two games. They only scored 27 versus Tulsa. Tulsa does have a great defense. And Georgia's only allowing 69 rush yards a game. Georgia has been offensively terrible all year, but they didn't have JT Daniels. They had this Stetson Bennett kid who was awful. JT Daniels is back. They've scored 45 plus in back-to-back games. I think that's what people expected this year from Georgia. So I think they're actually very good and they could blow Cincinnati out. This is probably going to show exactly why Cincinnati shouldn't have made the college football playoffs. So I'm going to take Georgia here. The one thing that makes me nervous is Cincinnati wins this game, they're national champions. They're going to pull a UCF and they'll raise a banner and say national champion.
And that's the one thing I was going to say. I mean, I'm not taking this game at all, but Cincinnati, I feel like this is kind of their revenge tour game. Like it's their shot to go out and prove, hey, we should have been one of those top 4 teams. And they could go in and just blow the doors off of Georgia.
Yeah, they definitely could. I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm going to bank on the Power 5 being better than the Group of 5. And I think that the Group of 5, they should get their own playoff. Take the top 4 from all those other conferences and put them in a playoff. I would watch the shit out of that. And then my last game that I'm taking, I'm going to take Oregon +4. I'm also going to take them money line against Iowa State in the Fiesta Bowl. Oregon won the Fiesta Bowl. That's like a good memory of mine. They beat Kansas State. So why not do it again? Iowa State has no New Year's 6 bowl victories. I have a couple of these, one in the NFL too. Is it a contingency? Is that the word? If Oregon is wearing white or gray, I'm hammering Iowa State. They only lose in white or gray. So that's
they haven't announced the uniforms yet?
Actually they might have, because when I did this research, it was 2 days ago. So maybe they have by now. Let's see.
All I see is 2013.
This is good radio.
Right. At least there's video.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, that was November 13th. Yeah, I don't see anything. Iowa State's in all black. That's good for Iowa State. So I will
which means they're probably going to be in all white.
Yeah, they're going to have to be. Actually, there's no way it's going to be green. Maybe it could be yellow. But yeah, that's all I got for college football. I hope Oregon wins. They don't really deserve it, but yeah, there's nothing. All right.
That brings us to Sunday, right? Unless you got any more on there.
No.
First game up, I have Arizona -3 at the Rams. The total is 40.5. I'm taking Arizona -3, even though they screwed me last week, and I just talked about how much they've fallen off. They played 4 weeks ago, and the Rams won by 10, but since that happened, they've lost Jared Goff. I think Cam Akers is also not expected to play this week.
Yeah.
John Wolford is going to start for them. I don't even know who that is.
Nope.
Kyler's
hurt, though.
Is he?
I don't know if he's out, but he's banged up at least.
I didn't see anything about him being out. I forgot who the third string quarterback on their team was, but I was kind of surprised that he wasn't going to be the guy starting.
Are you sure Blake isn't starting? Blake Bortles?
Yeah, it is Bortles. No, he's not starting.
Really? I swore. I thought I saw that he was, but damn, that sucks. I love Blake Bortles.
I was going to say, I knew the third string quarterback was like a name I recognize, but no, John Wolford.
Jesus, how bad is Blake Bortles? He's like, did you know that Blake Bortles has like the highest yards per rush attempt by quarterback in NFL history?
Yeah.
Like 8.5 yards. And he ran it a lot.
Yeah. The boat.
Yes.
But Arizona is 7-8 against the spread. The Rams are 8-7. Arizona is 4-3 at home. 4-6 is the favorite. The Rams are 4-3 at home, and 3-2 is the underdog. Game doesn't really mean much for Arizona, but with all those injuries to the Rams, Arizona should win that game pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. I think that if Arizona loses, the Bears are in the playoffs. So
are they?
Something to watch there.
I was actually gonna take the Rams in this game if Bortles started.
Yeah, you have to. The boat.
So there's my contingency. If it turns out Bortles starts that game,
I hope he does.
Next up, I have Minnesota -7 at Detroit. The total is 54. This might be my first under I'm taking all year. I think I've only taken a couple of totals and I've taken overs. Stafford is out and Alvin Cook is out. That is the best two offensive players from each team.
Yeah.
54 is not a low total.
Yeah, I can't believe it's 54. These teams both stink too.
Right. Minnesota has gone over 10 of their games so far. Detroit has gone over 9 times. With a similar line though, 53 to 56 points. Minnesota is 2-1 and Detroit is 2-5 as far as over-unders. And that's with Dalvin Cook and Matt Stafford. So I don't think there's any shot this game goes over.
Yeah.
This will actually be my lock this week. I'm taking the under 54.
Nice.
Nothing.
I'm tailing it.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing like cheering for no points.
Yep.
Wow. So there's going to be an opening kickoff touchdown. I can almost guarantee it.
Well, Cordell Patterson's not on the Vikings anymore. I think he's on the Bears. That's all I think of when I think of Vikings is Cordell Patterson. It's very strange.
But yeah, if there's a prop bet for opening kickoff for touchdown, take that too.
Okay.
Next up, I'm taking Baltimore -13 at Cincinnati. The total is 44.5. Baltimore is 9-5-1 against the spread. Cincinnati is 9-6. Baltimore is 4-2-1 on the road and 7-5-1 as the favorite. Cincinnati is 5-2 at home, 8-6 as the underdog. Cincinnati won their Super Bowl when they beat the Steelers. They don't care anymore. Baltimore is actually playing some pretty good football right now. Mm-hmm. They're kind of flying under the radar. I think they're a team that might, they end up playing Buffalo in the first round. They could give them a scare.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then last up, I'm taking Green Bay -5.5. I know you were talking about Chicago earlier. The total is 52 for that game. Green Bay is 9-6 against the spread. Chicago is 8-7. Green Bay is 4-3 on the road, 7-5 as a favorite. Chicago is 3-4 at home, and 7-5 as the underdog. Green Bay has a shot to lock up the 1 seed. I've been high on them all year. I think Rodgers probably wins the MVP. I just can't see them not closing this thing out to get a home field advantage.
Yeah. I'm going to be opposite that, but I think I'm opposite Green Bay every week. So my inevitable parlay is plus 3,890. So pretty much plus 3,900. I've got Washington -1.5 at Philadelphia. This is to win the division. My contingency here is if Carson Wentz starts, I'm out. I'm taking Philadelphia.
Is there a possibility of that?
I think Jalen Hurts is Hurts.
You should have said I think Jalen is Hurts.
I think Jalen is Hurts. Yeah, I think he is. So I think there's a possibility that he doesn't play. And I don't want Carson Wentz revenge tour. I don't need it. Revenge tour. It's 1 day long. But anyways, Washington -1.5. Jacksonville, Indy over 49.5. I just think Jacksonville's defense is atrocious. I'm going to take Chicago money line versus Green Bay. I probably shouldn't, but that's just, I hate Green Bay. New Orleans money line at Carolina. I forget what the spread is. I want to say it's 6.5. I think New Orleans wins, but I'm a Panthers fan, and it's end of the season. Carolina, I feel like it's always New Orleans they play week 17. It's always a good game, usually a 3-point game. So I'll just take that money line there. And then Seattle at San Fran over 46, over City, Dallas at New York over 44.5. I'm not taking any unders, not in week 17. So plus 3,900. That's my parlay for the week. But yeah, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Happy New Year's. We'll be back in 2021. This is our first year of the podcast.
Yeah.
Done in the books.
Right.
All right. So
thank God. Thank God 2020 is over.
I know. Let's run it back.
So we can all just right. So we can all just bitch about 2021.
Coronavirus is over, everybody. It's fine. Go outside. Don't wear a mask. We're fine. Okay. Yeah. If you have any questions, ask us on Twitter. We'll answer them for you next week. But that's it. See you guys.
See you.